Tim, thank you for doing the interview.
My pleasure.
Of conversion optimization. Let's talk. Well, why don't you introduce your people? I mean, I'm sure everybody knows you, but give people some background about SiteTuners, about yourself.
Absolutely. I've run SiteTuners, a strategic conversion rate optimization agency. Our headquarters is in San Diego and Tampa, although we almost never see clients face to face since they're all over the world. And I also founded the Conversion Conference in 2010. It's the only full industry conference about conversion rate optimization. You know, you've spoken there many times. And we've had a couple of dozen shows in Europe and the US, and it's growing every year, sold out the last couple of years in Vegas.
It's a very impressive conference as well. I think it's the most comprehensive amongst other conferences that are trying to focus on conversion optimization.
Yeah, there's some vendor-run ones where the tool makers are doing them, or there are agency ones that are trying to just drum up business for themselves. This is the only where the whole ecosystem gets brought together. Yeah.
So let's talk about conversion optimization in the industry. You're a veteran of the industry. How have you seen it change over the last 10, 15 years?
Well, I think the main thing is people know what it is, for starters, and over the years it's come to be recognized as one of the most important activities that you can do. And what we're seeing now is kind of an institutionalization of it. There are people that have conversion rate optimization as their job title. It's similar to the trajectory that the SEO and search engine marketing people had. It's a job description. It's somewhere on your org chart. And increasingly you're seeing director and VP level and even C-level people doing optimization and being in charge of it.
So let's talk about just what are some of the top challenges that you see when companies come to implement a conversion optimization program. You guys work with hundreds of clients.
Over 1,250 clients.
So what are some of the biggest challenges that you see for clients, for you as a service provider, somebody that people come to you to do strategic consulting on conversion optimization?
I think the biggest challenge is how they view conversion optimization inside of their company. Again, maybe they're not aware of it, they're bringing us in as a consultant, but if they relegate it to what I call the digital marketing ghetto, it's just, I've heard it described as a swim lane. You know, we have pay-per-click, we have SEO, we have CRO, and if they treat it as a tactical testing activity, that spells death, because there are a lot of companies and agencies that just talk about testing velocity, or just testing is the only way to do something. And to me, that relegates it to settling bar bets. So we've been working with clients. We developed a very comprehensive conversion maturity model that looks at the whole company, skill set, organization, culture, process, measurement, and accountability, and of course the whole customer experience, not just the web. And when you look at it that way, and it reports up to strategic levels inside the company, that's when things get done. So we've turned into a bit of a, I guess you could say, a McKinsey for conversion rate optimization, where we're working as change agents inside the company to move them along the conversion maturity model.
Let's talk about, you speak at different conferences, you run the conversion conference, definitely my favorite conferences, one that we recommend to our clients to attend. You look at the space, kind of whether it comes to conversion, online marketing, other conferences, what are some of your favorite conferences? So somebody comes to you and says, well, I want to attend 2 conferences next year.
It's really difficult to answer that. I would say you have to be really clear about what you want out of the conference. They have a different DNA, if you will. Some are focused on the side meetings and the deals you do in the back room. Others are about the education. Others don't care about education at all. It's all about the hundreds of vendors in the expo hall. Some are experiential and they like to get kind of more of a millennial flavor. Let's go skydiving or something. So it really depends on the vibe of it. So find out about the vibe and be real clear about what you want out of it.
Very good. Let's talk now specifically about the conversion conference. Started back in 2010. I remember I spoke at the
first one in San Jose. That's
definitely.
Right.
Tremendous success and growth. There definitely filled a need, obviously, because people. But what other elements are actually really helped anchor the conference as really an leading industry conference?
Well, I think that our focus has always been on education. So we really pride ourselves on the strength of the programs we put together, and I'm proud to say that we've been improving on that over the years. And this Vegas show in 2016 was our highest rated ever by far, and that's the core of it. Getting to meet some of the vendors and service providers is important, and we've also, as I mentioned, kind of had an experiential component that we've added into it with activities like the zip line between the towers of the Rio and networking events and so on.
Very good, excellent. Let's move away from talking about business. Let's talk personal.
Sure.
Daily routine.
Daily routine. The most important stuff needs to be banked at the beginning of the day. So I get up, I walk my kids to school.
How early do you get up?
6:30.
Okay.
Make them breakfast, make sure they're out the door, walk them about a third of a mile to school, and then I go on my power walk and do my Tai Chi by the Pacific Ocean, come back home. That way, all the emotional good stuff and the physical stuff is banked at the beginning of the day.
Very good. What time do you usually show up to the office?
We treat people as adults and have a flexible schedule, so I'm there about 10 to 6:30.
Okay, very good, excellent. Social media, you're active, I see, on Facebook, definitely.
Yes, Facebook is my preferred one, Twitter and LinkedIn as well to some degree.
How do you like Twitter? That's the question I keep on asking everybody, because I remember 10 years ago when we used to have meaningful conversations on Twitter, maybe 9 years ago, and it seems now there's less and less conversation. So what are your impressions of that?
It depends on whether you're doing personal or professional stuff. I tend to mix both on Facebook and Twitter, and I only do professional stuff on LinkedIn. Twitter is, of course, sound bites, which is not the best way to deepen relationships. I think it's better for awareness. So a lot of we just try to retweet other high-quality conversion-related stuff for people to become aware of. That's the primary reason I use it.
Excellent. Your favorite tool, something that you use very regularly?
Usertesting.com, I would say. Yeah, it's understanding what goes on inside the minds of your visitors and how they actually interact with your website should be front and center in anything you do.
Very good. And last question, your favorite book? You published your own book, which is, by the way, a required reading for everybody who we hire.
Yes,
but your favorite book as well?
The one that I've been talking about a lot lately is by Phil Barton, and it's called Decoded. Okay. And it's kind of combines direct response as well as branding from a very knowledgeable guy in the UK. And so it's some of the latest knowledge on neuromarketing and how brand frames the offer, if you will.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Very powerful.
Well, if anybody wants to find you, we'll definitely put links to your Twitter, LinkedIn,
absolutely,
and SiteTuners as well. You guys publish the blog. The Conversion Conference definitely publishes the blog.
Yeah,
right?
we have the blog on SiteTuners as well as Conversion Conference, and my speaking website is timash.com.